My research topic is on the art of Thailand. For the majority of my life, I've been involved in art in some form or fashion, and studio art will most likely be the focus of my postgraduate studies. Thus, the reason for my interest in the topic. For me, a painter, art provides a refuge from the stresses of life. Even as a young boy, just making things was a childhood fascination. Artists will always make art for themselves and each other. Even more important, and what makes art applicable to different cultures, is that being involved in the arts is a way to touch others, to reinforce bonds of community, perhaps to create beauty that gives a few people a rest from their problems, or the energy to keep working to improve their own lives or others' lives. Art can be a commitment to values that do not depend on a secure world. Quite frankly, the Asian community has up to this point held little interest for me culturally. If given the choice to visit a sandy beach in the Caribbean, Western Europe, Russia, or even our amazing 50 states, I would most comfortably choose any of the above over Asia. Yet, that is one reason I want to embark on a journey which we are about to enjoy. I want to expand my cultural experiences. I want to expand my understanding of other peoples. I want to appreciate the artistic expressions of those I may not feel as comfortable with as, say, some Northern European impressionist. When I think of the Italian Renaissance, a terrible period politically, when mercenary armies roamed Italy, ruling families poisoned each other, and plague struck repeatedly, I also remember it was an age when extraordinary artistic creativity flourished. The Renaissance is a reminder that living a decent life is not entirely dependent on living in decent times. A reminder that the terrors of our time need not be totally consuming, that we can live with a connection to other eras and other people who sought meaning and beauty in the midst of turmoil and fear. At a time when tensions continue to mount, when one country's claims precipitate another country's military exercises, it's reassuring that a cross-cultural understanding, in the way of art, can be a steadying influence. Of course, art is not simply for the artist. As previously stated, artists will create art as it's in their DNA to do so. However, art should and could be appreciated by all. It helps in our understanding of other nations, cultures, and humans. Art is a perpetually self-renewing source of energy. That is the best definition of art, as opposed to decoration or illustration. We need that source of energy as we face this challenging political and economic world. When I'm frightened by our times, as I occasionally am, I sometimes picture the cave paintings of France and Spain, which may date back 32,000 years. We don't know the states of minds of the artists who created beauty so early in our history. Perhaps they were celebrating successful hunts with feelings of gratitude, or perhaps they were employing the power that brought, or failed to bring, the animals they needed for survival. Perhaps they painted out of hunger and desperation. Either way, they went to a lot of trouble to make their art that speaks to us across the enormous span of years. We can barely imagine their lives, but we respond to their creations and know they were creatures like us. While I've been blessed to visit a handful of great houses of art, my personal bucket list contains many more. The State Hermitage in St. Petersburg, Russia, the Vatican Museum in Vatican City, the Gallery dell'Accademia in Florence, and of course the Louvre in Paris. In Thailand, one of the places I expect to see and explore is the Bangkok Art and Cultural Center. From my research, which relied heavily on Google's search engine ratings, the BACC seems to be one of the artistic and cultural highlights of Thailand, and of Bangkok specifically. During our time in Thailand, the Art and Cultural Center will feature an exhibition called Concept, Context, Contestation, Art in the Collective in Southeast Asia. According to the BACC's website, a new exhibition about conceptual approaches of making art for, with, and about the collective and collective issues in Southeast Asia. Though diverse in its forms and in the cultural and political environments that have spawned it, Southeast Asian art of today is testament to Southeast Asia's shared regional history and the 21st century solidarity. In a spirit of unity and in anticipation of Asian integration commencing in 2015, Bangkok Art and Cultural Center is proudly presenting a new and specifically BACC-commissioned exhibition of regionally contemporary visual art, the biggest ever Southeast Asian contemporary art show produced in Thailand, Concept, Context, Contestation, Art and the Collective in Southeast Asia. We make and appreciate art. We turn to art as the source of energy we need in good times and bad, because we're human. And art is one of the essential things we do to be human.